Okay, I'm doing this in one take, so hopefully this goes well. Hello, I'm Sam Stats, as it shows there in the title. Um, my topic is on, for this class, monuments, mostly mostly American historical monuments, and whether or not they should be taken down. All right. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna explore the controversies about different monuments in places across the country. Some and mentioned in class, some memories are allowed to fade, and other memories are allowed to be promoted. And I guess the idea of that is the example listed here is that two places, Ellis Island and Angel Island, are both points of immigration in the 19th and early 20th centuries. And they're both memorials, but Angel Island doesn't get much of a recognition as Ellis Island, and some people might wonder why that is, and maybe they'll think it's like discriminatory reasoning behind it, or whatnot. So basically, well, a monument, obviously, as Google defines it anyway, is a monument is a statue, building, or other structure erected to commemorate a famous or notable person or event. And it doesn't really necessarily mean, yes, it says commemorate, but it also says erected, and it does not mean that it's we're praising. I mean, the two images here, I would commemorate these as notable symbols of American patriotism, uh, for Mount Rushmore, and but particularly Statue of Liberty is a symbol of liberty, obviously, and freedom for anyone who wants to come to this country, and legally anyway. And as what occurred in that's what the symbol that's what the all the immigrants from Ireland and Germany and all those places in Europe, that's the symbol that they first saw when they came over here. Was a symbol of liberty and a symbol of freedom, starting over, having a fresh start of life. And so I'm saying that for those particular examples, I would praise those, and I would not want to tear those down, because those celebrate something special. And even if it doesn't celebrate anything, it's still just there, just to remind us that something happened here. Like the Statue of Liberty, if you remove all of its meaning, it's just a statue that symbolizes that this is something between France and the United States. It's just it some people, it could be viewed no more than that. And same thing with Mount Rushmore. It's just these are just four people who existed, and they did they're important historical figures in our country's history. So why were they put there? Like I said, it's to commemorate, or just to be erected to the memory of something or someone who did something great, like, and good, like this is a famous symbol of the taking place at the Battle of Iwo Jima. So that would be considered like this is a great victory for the Americans, and the Allied powers in general, and just to triumph over the Axis powers and triumph over evil at the time. Um, and are they reminders of history? If so, who is being represented? Well, in this statue, there are two people being represented, um, and as stated by President Lincoln and by in the Constitution, that all men are created equal, whether people believe it or not. It's stated in this Constitution that all men are created equal, and yes, that obviously means everyone. A lot of people want to change it to all men and women and everyone else are created equal, and obviously that's of course, that's what it means by like. But anyway, the messages from this statue some strange reason, people view this statue I read as a symbol of white supremacy. And I don't know what someone slipped into their coffee or something to make them think this, because this is clearly a symbol of freedom. This is the celebration of the there's no L in emancipation. Emancipation Proclamation. It's to commemorate and celebrate the abolishment of slavery in this country. That's a very great thing, and I don't understand why people think that this is like, because I mean, I don't know if you can see it very well, but like right here, his shackles are being are broken. When I read, it said yes, even though his shackles are broken, he's still wearing it around his wrist, and I think that's fine if he's wearing it around his wrist. That shows actively, to me, it actively shows it's been broken. Slavery is over. Doesn't mean that something's still left behind. I mean, maybe something has been left behind, and that's what sparked civil rights movement. And so I mean, maybe it does. Maybe the shackles around the hand does represent something. That the statue, this man here, represents the freedom of slavery, the freedom of slaves, and where'd the cursor go? Okay, and this and still he's taking a part of. Maybe it's just, some people think maybe he'll just be carrying that burden for the rest of his life, but that's the wrong mentality. I think that's the wrong mentality. I think that Lincoln, yes, he was white, but that's irrelevant to the fact that he freed the slaves. He freed the slaves. It doesn't matter what color he was. He freed the slaves. He did the right thing, and people. It's a symbol of patriotism. It's a symbol of liberty. It's a symbol of freedom and justice in this country. He did a lot of people a great justice by freeing all these people. And the fact that people think that this is showing like, oh, he's white and he's black, and he's above him and he's below him, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe they ran out of room on the statue. I don't know. Like what like, it's just people who nitpick, and then they view it as, oh, this is discriminatory, and that is, in my opinion, not at all the case. Should these monuments be torn down? Strictly because of the definition, I'd say no, because the definition, as it's stated, is to commemorate or is to erect something that happened. Erected by Robert E. Lee, it says here. Robert E. Lee was a man. If you leave it simply at that, this is something that this man existed, and this happened here from 1861 to 1865, the Civil War. And it's in memory. I mean, and then if you want to go further, the answer is maybe. It depends on the monument. So if we take this monument, for instance, erected in 1926, it looks like. This is all the men who died in the Civil War serving on the Confederate side in the South, and this is still, these men had families. They had wives and children too, as well as the Union soldiers did. And the men who were slaves, who served on either side, had families as well. So I think it's, I don't know what the word would be for you to not, you don't need to honor someone who died if you don't like them. Like, people don't, I'm not going to say like I honor Adolf Hitler because he did great things, because he didn't do great things. I don't honor anything he did. It's just a sign, and people will think, well, he deserves no respect in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, I guess because I'm a Catholic, little guy in the background. Anyway, from my religious standpoint, anyway, that I do not hate anyone. I don't hate Hitler. I hate the things he did. The things he did are unspeakably terrible. But that doesn't mean I have to hate him. He's a person who existed. He was born and he died, and it's just and you can simplify it as down to that. Maybe it's a bad thing to simplify it that much, but it's just the fact that Robert E. Lee had a family. He believed in something. He believed in something. I'm not saying I believe in that same thing, because I don't. He believed in slavery, and I don't believe in that. I don't believe in fascism. I don't believe in socialism. I don't believe in what the Nazis believed in or stood for. It's just a sign that, like, here lies this person. This person lies here. Like, if Adolf Hitler, I don't even know if Adolf Hitler has a grave. But this is where he is. We don't need to take it down. We're just saying, oh, this is where he is. This is where he hangs out now. He's in the ground over here. And it can be put down that simply. Like, and we should honor people who these are regardless, these are still Americans. These are still Americans, and we should love America. And we should just honor them as people, not just what they stood for. So I'll just wrap it up there. That's all I have. And yeah, I think that some monuments should be it depends. It depends to me on what it is. I just know that, like, certain monuments, like the Statue of Liberty, should not be taken down. Like, things that are clear signs of, or the Emancipation Proclamation one, should not be taken down. It's a clear sign of freedom. And it's just, I don't know. Abraham Lincoln's a great guy. He's a great guy. I'm sure the guy down there is a great guy too. I don't know. So I'm winging it on take one. Hopefully this is good. Alrighty. Have a great Christmas break.